Hello everybody, welcome back to Commonwealth Picker. My name is Kevin and we are in the eBay cave and we have some funny sales for you today. We had a really good day of sales today, but there are two things that I'm really kind of excited to talk about, and both of them will make you scratch your head a little bit. One of them's right behind me here so you can see that, and then the other one I want to talk about too. Probably my favorite sale of the day and also my tiniest profit of the day. It's just a story that I can't wait to tell. We'll get to that eventually, but we're going to talk about what sold. We had a pretty good day today. We sold $525.07 out of the Commonwealth Picker store, and out of the Homeschool Hustler store, $33.55. And we'll have Turner. Matter of fact, I just filmed it because it's getting a little late. I want him to get upstairs and get his teeth brushed and all that stuff. So when I'm done down here, I can go read him a story or something and tuck him in. I'm not quite sure. Reagan's not feeling too good, so I'm in charge of Turner tonight. I got him to do that video now so that he's ready to go when we're done shipping down here. We'll put that in at the end of the video and we'll let you see what sold out of the Homeschool Hustler store. But before we do that, we're going to take a look at what sold out of the Commonwealth Picker store. Let's take a look. All right, so here's the first one, and this, I did not buy this. You know, I can only imagine going through Goodwill and picking out this thing. This is a vintage Barbizon sleepwear. It's polyester, real nice and soft here, pretty. You know, what do you think? What do you think? I thought Blue Ridge Mama bought it for her when she brought it home. I'm like, I don't know, baby. That looks a little old for you. I'm not quite sure. At any rate, this sold, believe it or not, this thing sold for 40 bucks. 40 bucks, and it was $3.99 at the Goodwill. So it's a Blue Ridge Mama buy. I would never be looking on that side of the store, I don't think. But hey, this stuff sells. You know, I've seen it out there on other shows. I gotta admit, I haven't seen it out there on too many men's shows, but I have seen it out there on some ladies' shows. And this stuff sells really good. So guys, when you're out there yard sailing, don't be afraid, don't be ashamed to be looking through the women's lingerie section. And maybe you find something like this and make some good money. I mean, that's a nice little profit right there. I mean, this is going to be about close to a $30 profit. A little bit less. It's going to be probably $27 to $29 profit. But that's really good. It's lightweight. It's going to go first class. So Blue Ridge Mama, it's a home run right here. And I'm glad you didn't keep it. What do you think? It look good on me? What do you think? All right, so this is one of my favorite sales of the day. Matter of fact, it might be my favorite sale of the day. And they only sold for $5.88. They're these two little plain screws. There's not much to them at all. And I doubt anybody out there knows what they're to. But if you watch the show, and I don't think I've ever sold one since I've started doing the show. But I didn't find many this year. But purple ab rollers. Purple ab rollers sell like crazy. They don't sell it quite as good as they used to because of the dimensional shipping. But I think I've sold about 100 purple ab rollers. I've got anywhere between $30 plus shipping to $80 plus shipping. It depends on where the market is. I have no idea why people have to have the original purple ab roller, but they do. And I felt like for a while I was one of the very few people on eBay selling them. And then I told my uncle, and then he started selling them. And now the whole world knows. If you see a purple ab roller out there, pick it up. Well, I do. And matter of fact, I have, I think, 2 down here in my death pile. I usually, when I buy them, I take them apart. I keep a screwdriver in the car, and I just take these little screws out, and I break it down and lay it flat in my trunk. And then I get home, and at some point, I list them. Well, I should be listing it right now. It's not the best one in the world, so I'm not too terribly excited about it, because I know it's probably only going to go for about 30 bucks plus shipping. And they're a little hard to ship, but I've done so many of them that I know how to do them fairly well, and I know the right boxes. Matter of fact, a good box to use, a little hint out there, is the number 7 box that the post office ships you the number 7 boxes in. Use that box. And you can kind of maneuver it a little bit and Frankenbox it, and you can get a purple ab roller into it. And it's pretty good size for it. Bought one, and I got it home, and I paid $2 for it. I like to pay $5 or less for them. And I paid $2 for it, and I got it home, and the little screws that go into the back of the little headrest were almost completely out, and they were completely stripped. There was no way to fix it. That wasn't going to be more trouble than it was worth. And I'm like, golly. And then I noticed there was a little bend in it too, and it was $2, so I just picked it. I didn't even hardly check the thing out. And I'm like, you know what? I am going to make my $2 back. And I think they have 8 of these screws in there. And so I listed this, maybe it's 6, might be 6. I listed 2 screws for $5.88. So right here, I made my money back and made a tiny, tiny little profit, maybe 20 cents or so. And I still have 2 more to go. So I'm gonna end up making $5 on that purple ab roller just from the screws. I don't know, it was more of a point I was making than anything else. I was just too stubborn to get rid of that thing and not make my money. The other thing is sometimes you'll buy those purple ab rollers and they're missing screws. And so I'm like, hey, I'm just gonna keep them. So I got this little ashtray up here and I keep the old purple ab roller screws in there. And I have a few extra more than I have listed because I might need one someday when I find a purple ab roller that needs them. So anyways, fitness equipment is going to be big here in a week or so after everybody needs to trim that waistline. So get out there and make sure you find all your fitness equipment and all your fitness DVDs and all that stuff and get that stuff listed. Another day and another bunch of Eneman sold, but we are going to wait until the end and we'll do them all together and thank a bunch of people. I think we had one that was not a viewer sale. And now I'm having people from school. I had a student buy one. I have people from school asking me for an Eneman. I got my dad asking me for an Eneman. We're going to run it, you know, people thought I was nuts to buy 1,500 of those things. And at this pace, by next Christmas, I won't have one to my name. At any rate, this was an item that's been sitting around forever. My boy bought this, Bubba bought this, and he was out picking with me. He used to go out picking a little bit more with me. This summer he didn't do quite as much. He had a different job, and I think that's good, you know. He could make more money picking. I tell him that all the time. But sometimes you got to kind of find your own way. At any rate, he still does some picking from time to time, and he's going to go out with me this summer as well. So I can't wait for this summer to come. We'll go out picking together because he's got a pretty good eye. I've sent him out on his own before. I've given him gas money. I've given him yard sale money and said, go out, buy this stuff. I'll pay you per hour to source. Come back, I'll sell it, and I'll just pay him by the hour, and I'll buy him breakfast, and I'll pay for his gas. And he found this out and about one day, and it's a Derek Jeter bobblehead. It's kind of a heavy one. It's got some kind of autograph on it. It's probably Derek Jeter's real autograph, but how in the world would you ever, you know, authenticate that thing? It's got a date here as well. Obviously no authentication, but this is 2/10/2002, 164 out of 200. So my guess is this thing is probably legit. It's from the Columbus Clippers, but you can't verify it. There are some out there like this listed on eBay, and they were listed for a lot less and they didn't sell. And apparently they've sold out, and mine was the only one left, I think. And it went for the asking price. I got $25 plus shipping, and he paid $1 for it. All right, we sold one of these. We have a bunch left. Unfortunately, I'm not going to sell out this Christmas, but we've sold quite a few of them. And maybe I won't go back and source any more this year after Christmas. Maybe I'll source just maybe 10 or 12 and see what happens. I think there's just too many out there on the market for lower prices than I had them out there for, and I need to reduce them. But at any rate, this one went to a viewer. We are Santa's elves. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, Gene Autry. And Burl Ives, Have a Holly Jolly Christmas. I think that's Burl Ives. At any rate, it sold to a viewer, $11.95 plus shipping, and this sold to Carrie. And Carrie, I can't thank you enough. It's very sweet of you. Carrie's the one who won the Elf DVD, by the way, and she just couldn't accept the free DVD. She had to go out and buy this thing, and we appreciate you out there. And I know you're a West Coaster from the shipping there, so thank you so much. All right, here's a retail arbitrage item, and it's Rapunzel's Castle. My daughter loves Tangled, by the way. That's a good Disney movie for the modern ones. If you haven't seen any of the modern ones out there, that one makes me laugh a little bit. At any rate, this one sold for $46.95. I sold one on a sale about 2 weeks ago, and I was just trying to unload. I had 5, I think, left from last year. And we didn't have much into it. I'm only making about I'm making about $19. I made $19 on the one I had on sale. This one I'm making more like $25 on, which is more like it. This one's going to take a little bit of time to pack, but it is a pretty nice little $25. I think we had a total of 9 at one point. I think we're down to 4, down to 3 left after this one, so I'm happy with this sale. I don't know if I told you what it went for. $46.95 plus shipping. All right, this is from a yard sale that hasn't aired yet. I'm not sure when I'm going to air it. I'm going to call it like the frozen yard sale because it was one of the last of the season that we went out to a few weeks ago. and I just put it together. It's a funny little yard sale. A bunch, it's I think 3 or 4, but it was freezing. Like, you could see the frost on the items. And the first one I went to was purely by accident. I was headed towards a yard sale, and I didn't ever get to it because I saw a sign that led me off the beaten track, you know, the road less traveled, they say. And I went there instead, and it was unbelievable. I walked in there and I started like singing hallelujah. I saw all this unbelievable stuff. I'm like, holy cow, I'm the only one here. I'm going to make a fortune. And then the prices were just really expensive. I mean, they were fair prices, just nothing I could make money on. And so I'm like, there's got to be something in here I can get a good deal on. And we looked and looked and looked. And I think I spent 80 bucks. I spent 75 bucks. I gave them 80 because they had a little ministry that they were doing. I knew the lady from the past. She was really kind. And I gave them 80 bucks and I bought a bunch of stuff, and I'm going to make some pretty good money on it. This one right here was in the pile of stuff that I got, and it sold for $50 plus shipping. So 50 bucks plus shipping. So we've almost made, you know, we've made, let's say if I paid 80 and we've made a $45 profit on this, we're 35 bucks away from breaking even. And I have no doubt we're going to break even on one more sale, and then the rest of it will be profit. So it was a pretty good sale anyways, even though the prices were crazy. And it will either be out this coming Sunday, a couple days from now, or it will be out in a few weeks. You know, I've got enough videos, I think, to get us through the coldest months. Hopefully get us to some warmer months and back out there yard sailing again. And that one is coming up, and I like it. By the way, I have no idea really what this thing is. It says Whirlwind IMP 1x3 microphone splitter is what it is. And it was used. All right, here's a happy little accident sale. I can't say enough about Blue Ridge Mama. She really did a lot of work on the creative memories. I did a lot of work on the ornaments, and she did a ton of work on the creative memory stuff, and it has paid off slowly but surely. Blue Ridge Mama tends to put a little bit higher prices on items than I do. I put good, competitive, lower than competitive prices. I want it sold because I got to deal with this mess down here. And she wants to get her money out of something. She puts work into it. She wants her money. So sometimes her prices are right there just enough, and she makes a good little margin on her stuff. Well, it's been about 3.5 months, but she got her money out of this one, $24.95. Sometimes I go in there and I'll drop the prices down without her knowing, and she'll be like, I thought I listed that for this. Well, I didn't drop this one. $24.95 plus shipping, all pure profit at this point, and we'll let you take a look at how much our $200 at one yard sale has turned into so far. All right, here it is. So $200 into $2,086 so far, and we still have stuff to go. All right, this is from a yard sale that I don't think I've aired yet either. I'm not quite sure. I'm proud of these kind of picks. So sometimes you're out there and you're like, there's no comps on this thing. There is no comps on this. It's a wool jacket. It is German, I think. I don't even know what it says. Maybe you can see that. Can you see that? Uber 500, Jari, Wired, I don't even know. Dockstein. At any rate, it is wool, pure new wool. So I guess that's what, virgin wool. And it's in pretty good shape. It's got some nice little toggle zippers on here. And I like it. And it was $1. And I'm like, well, this is a no-brainer. I'm buying it. It's wool, it'll sell. And I listed it for $100 or best offer, and there were no comps out there for it. And I never did anything to it. I never changed anything. And not hardly any watchers at all. And I got an offer today for $63 plus shipping. First action I've had on it in months. First action I've ever had on it, and it sold. So and I took the offer. 63 bucks. $1 into $63 plus shipping. So it's going to be about a $55 to $59, $55 to $58 profit. I forgot to dig something out. Medela breast pump accessories. So I used to sell Medela breast pumps all the time. And it just became too much of a hassle. You know, you're supposed to clean these things thoroughly. And I would do that. And I'm like, you know, you start clocking these hours in here. It's like, this is not worth the money. And then so what I've done is I've taken the little pumps out, the little motors for them, and I've sold them motors before, and I see a ton of people out there doing that. They just buy up these breast pumps all the time, and they take the accessories and clean them and sell the accessories, and then take the pumps and lot them together and sell the pumps. And I'm not sure what people do out there with lots of pump. I guess they use them and piece them and part them together and resell them again, I'm assuming. Of course, what else would you do with it? And if somebody knows out there, let me know. And I just have got away from them because they're kind of big and they usually accumulate because I don't want to do that work. Well, I had this one sitting in here forever, and I listed it and it sold. And it sold for $13 plus shipping. And it was just the accessories, just the bottles and stuff. So I just haven't dug it out in there yet so far. Or maybe I have. It might be behind that thing. All right, here's some long tail Fiesta ware. Bought this with my wife at a family run estate sale, and we've already made our money and probably doubled it. And these are 2 little turquoise plates. Every time I sell one of these, I think of you, Lori, out there. So appreciate you. You sell a lot of Fiesta ware, and I kind of learned from you. And this is not a huge profit, but $15 plus shipping, and it's all pure profit at this point. All right, I'm going to see if I can go through some of these before we finish up this show here. You have to forgive me if I mess this up. So if you leave a note here when you buy the item, I'll usually be able to get it right. Sometimes you leave the messages somewhere else. Sometimes you leave them in Facebook, and I don't get them till too late. So I apologize, and if I mess something up, just send me a message, and I'll try to fix it. So this one is going out. By the way, there's 1,417 left. This one is going out to Karen, and Karen, we appreciate you. This one is going out to Susan, and let me read what Susan wrote. Kevin and family, thanks for all your helpful videos. I love watching and learning from the shipping section, and so many people do. That's interesting to me, and I try to put those on every other episode or so. Maybe we'll put some on the Commonwealth Flipper channel as well. And as I'm sure you figure out, I love that adorable rock star Sophie. Ah, that's right. This is Susan who loves Sophie out there. I'm really looking forward to seeing how the Commonwealth cabin comes together. Thanks again. In it to flip it. There you go. All right, and this one is to Joanne, and Joanne says, YouTube subscriber and eBay family member. Absolutely love your channel, and although I'm a newbie to it, thanks for the content. Merry Christmas to you and yours. Now to go check out the Homeschool Hustler store. That's very kind of you. All right, this one is to George, and George says, my wife and I never miss a Commonwealth Picker or Flipper YouTube update. George, we appreciate it. It says, my wife and I never miss a Commonwealth Picker or Flipper YouTube upload, so that's very nice of you. You and your family, by the way, I've been putting Blue Ridge Mama, she's pretty comfortable going on that channel, I guess. Maybe she figures there's not as many people watching. You and your family are truly a blessing to us. Press on, brother Joe and Dale. So, at any rate, it says Joe and Dale, even though it says George on here. So I apologize. This is to Joe and Dale. All right, and this one says George on it as well, but I think that I think it's Tamara who left me a message on Facebook. And if I have this correct, this was it looks right here, this is your very first eBay purchase. So the fact that you bought something for me for your very first eBay purchase, and the fact that you bought an Eneman for your very first eBay purchase is a little comical to me, but you left a very kind note, and that's amazing. So we hope you enjoy eBay, and we hope you become a eBay buyer out there. I know all of us eBay sellers are always happy when we can grow that eBay buyer pool. So enjoy, and thank you so much. It's very, very kind of you, and thanks for watching our show. And I just realized that you bought 2 of them, so thank you. And last but not least, Judy. Judy, thank you so much for buying one of our Eneman. All right, as always, we'll put something on the end of this video. I'm not sure what. Who the heck knows what we're going to put on there. And we're going to continue to put little bits and pieces of that Commonwealth cabin and what we're going to do inside there. Matter of fact, let me do something real quick. I always wanted to do this. You know, I've been doing eBay for a long time, and I've been watching YouTube for a long time. And I remember Pete at Craigslist Hunter way back when. I remember so many YouTubers that kind of paved the way. And Lonnie, of course, was one of them. And one of the icons, the videos that stand out on my head is Candace holding the color green, and people are like, what in the world is he painting that thing green for? Well, I'm obviously not doing that. So I picked these up just to be funny. I needed to get Blue Ridge Mama down here to hold a blue one like this, but at any rate, I figured I'd do that. I don't know what we're going to paint it. We know we're not going to paint it green. So, anyway, thank y'all for joining us. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that like button, and we'll see you next time. Hey, I forgot to mention something. The Homeschool Hustler store sold that popple, so that takes our $156 investment at the Plush Nirvana sale, and so far it's turned it into $387. Hey Turner, how you doing today, bud?
Good.
Good. You made 2 sales out of the Homeschool Hustler store.
Woohoo!
You're gonna get a couple of bucks, one to save, one to spend, and one to donate to charity. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Hey, what's that in your right hand? Do you know which hand's your right hand?
This.
That's right. What is that thing? Do you remember?
A popple.
It's a popple. Yep, and I got that at a yard sale entitled, I think it was like Plush Nirvana sale is what we're calling it. It was a great little yard sale, and we had a My Pet Monster on it. It was pretty cool. And we paid 50 cents for that guy, and it sold for 18 bucks. Are you tired? You can't yawn on camera. What are you doing? I have to edit that out. What do you think?
Yeah.
And that other thing, do you remember what I told you that thing was?
No.
No, it's called a Digimon.
Yeah, a Digimon.
A Digimon. And I bought that at a yard sale with a student, an old student of mine named Daniel. It was the first time he went out yard sailing to sell for eBay. And Daniel is 10 times smarter than me, but I could teach him how to buy and sell stuff from yard sales, so that was kind of neat. All right, buddy, thanks for joining us. Tell everybody thank you.
Thank you.
All right, see you next time.
Bye.